Let's talk about champagne.
So let's talk about how to serve champagne.
Okay.
Yeah, we open bottles all the time, we drink it all the time, but what we don't ever really talk about is the right way to actually serve it. So let's take about 5 minutes and talk about the right way to serve champagne.
Is this where, you have to be in a tux and
No,
the linen napkin over the arm?
No, for the
not
love of
that kind?
God, no.
Okay.
How do you serve champagne?
Okay.
Okay, first off, you gotta get it to the right temperature.
Okay.
Okay. On average, you're looking at about 45 to 50 degrees, in that range.
Really?
Yep. That's the range, okay? Each individual house and each individual style may have a different take on it, but can't go wrong on that range. Now, how do you tell the temperature of a bottle of champagne? You can't. Okay.
No, are you kidding me? Experienced parents, you just put your wrist or your
Yep.
lips and you can tell what the
There you
temperature
go.
is.
So here's the cheat to getting the champagne to the right temperature. First off, an ice bucket. Take the champagne, put it in an ice bucket, fill it with ice, fill it with a little bit of water, and then give it about a half hour.
And then you know it's at the right temperature.
It's close enough. Close enough is good enough.
Okay.
Okay, if you don't have an ice bucket, another cheat is put it in your refrigerator. Never your freezer. I gotta be really serious about this.
Okay.
Never, ever the freezer. Because this is a delicate thing.
Oh, really?
Violent changes in temperature and violent changes in how it's handled, this does not like that. It likes, this is a drink of subtlety,
Okay.
therefore you must treat it like subtlety,
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
So you put it in the refrigerator, okay? Put it in for a couple of hours. The day of, pop it in the fridge.
Okay.
Okay.
Otherwise, 30 minutes in the ice bucket.
Right. Now the thing about the when about an hour before you are ready to serve it, take it out of the fridge.
Because otherwise it might be too cold?
Be too cold. So that's a good way to do it. Ice bucket or put it in the fridge and let it chill in the fridge for a couple hours, and then when you are ready to serve it, take it out an hour before.
Okay, now I have to ask another question because I always like to have a bottle of champagne on hand, just because you should always have one chilled and ready to go. But how long can they stay in the fridge?
That's a really good question. A lot longer than you would keep it in the fridge. Okay. I mean, when I say these things are delicate,
Yeah.
they will hold up in the fridge for months.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, but I mean, you should, if you're waiting a month to drink your bottle of champagne, then you should probably rethink that you're gonna drink this bottle of champagne.
Right. Like that is not the everyday bubbly way. No.
But if you're gonna keep, I have a drink fridge, and I will keep, I'll keep 3 or 4 bottles in there
Yeah.
because I will go over 3 or 4 bottles usually in a week. Sometimes in a night. It just depends on the life I'm leading.
And we all want to lead your life.
No,
Daz.
you do not. No, you do not. Not today, you don't. Today's been a rough day. Oh, but that being said, champagne is making it better. I will say.
Yes, absolutely. Champagne is always a mood lifter.
Yes. So the next thing to talk about is opening the bottle. And I open a bottle, I try to do it the right way. And first thing you got to do is you got to strip off the foil. Okay?
Completely.
Yeah. I mean, that is the right thing to do. Just they should look like that. It should look neat.
Okay.
Okay. Is presentation that big of a deal? Yeah. You got to give this thing the respect it's due. You got to give champagne the respect it's due. Remove the foil. Okay. Here's where things get a little tricky. Okay. you got to undo the cap, undo the cage, okay? And as everybody
happen to have one right
happen to
here.
have one, as everybody knows, how many twists?
5.5.
5 1/2. If it's 5 1/2, they're old school. If they're 6, they're new school.
Interesting.
Whereas in the old days, it's done by hand, 5 1/2. Remove the cage.
Okay.
And this is when things get hairy. Okay, as you're moving the cage, you want to get your thumb on that cork. Because remember, at 90 PSI, these things are glorified bombs. And that cork
Could pop.
wants to come out. It wants to come out.
Even just removing the cage?
Oh yeah, oh my God, yeah.
I've never had one pop
Yeah,
like that.
I have. I've had many, many bottles of champagne just
Just
boom.
go. Wow.
Yeah, they just want to. Remember, you're dealing with if it's a natural cork, it has subtle variations in it.
True.
It might not be as big. I mean, you never know. And that there's a reason why that cage is there. It is keeping that cork on because these corks want to come out.
Okay.
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 So as soon as you get that cage off, get your thumb on it.
Okay. That is good to know.
Now, don't ever do the I'm gonna take the and pop it like that. No. The right way, it isn't about whether it's right because it is the way that they do it in the stand. No, it's safety. That flying cork hurts
Yes.
and it will take an eye out.
Yes. So I have to tell you, you may not have known this about me, but I was a server for many years and I paid my way through college, acting as a server in high school and college. And one of my serving gigs was doing the champagne brunch at the local hotel. And so I was acting as a server, hostess, and barback. So I was the one who opened all the bottles of champagne. And the way we had to do it in the service industry was to actually take a bar towel or dish towel over the bottle and pop it that way for safety reasons.
Yes.
That way you knew that cork was not
Yes.
flying anywhere. You weren't going to have the big frothing going all over the
Right.
place. And
I mean, I could spend hours talking about what's wrong with it when you pop the cork and champagne comes flying out. No.
it's very dramatic.
No, and it's
but
very wasteful.
It is wasteful.
And
It
it's
is
ignorant.
wasteful.
It's just straight up ignorant.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not showing the champagne the respect it's due.
Sure.
So, you got your thumb on the cork,
Yep.
and you want to grab the base of the bottle. Okay, some people will stick their thumb in the punt.
Yeah.
The indentation at the bottom is called a punt. But yeah, I just hold it at the bottom.
Okay.
And what you want to do is transition from holding the cork to holding with your thumb to holding it with your hand. And you want to hold your hand still and twist the bottle, not the cork.
That makes sense because I'm assuming it's similar to any bottle of wine where the cork may have degraded and it may break and then you've got a problem.
If you're twisting the cork, you're putting stress on the cork.
Yep.
If you're twisting the bottle, not as bad.
Yep.
So you want to twist that bottle
Okay.
until you feel it coming out, and then you gauge, you slow down, and then you feel, and you want it to release subtly. That big
Yeah.
is great when you want to make a statement, and don't get me wrong, you were at my 50th. We were popping corks all night long. Life was
Oh yeah,
great,
it was so fun.
But it was very fun. But the less air that escapes, the better. You want a little versus that big pop.
That makes
Okay. Now, when it comes to the actual pouring of the champagne, many people try to pour it by, holding the glass like they're pouring
the
a beer.
beer style.
Yes, no.
No.
So, I'll tell you a funny story.
Okay.
Last year I was in Bunay, and one of the workers, one of the vineyard workers, were drinking some champagne, as you do in champagne country during harvest.
Yep.
And I have a glass, and I'm holding the glass tilted. He goes, he didn't speak any English, but I understood exactly what he said. He says, "This is not a beer." I was like, yeah, I got that part. I can tell by the tone. And he's like, no, you'll hold it like that, and then you pour it in 2 stages.
The cascade.
Right, well, you pour it and you let it settle for a second, and then you go in again and pour it some more.
Yep.
Okay? And that way you see the beautiful bubbles, you get the beautiful presentation, and you're allowing the gas to release in a controlled manner. Okay? So that's how you would open a bottle. That's how you want to pour the champagne. And lastly, serving it. You always want to serve it in a proper glass. Okay, a good champagne glass. Now, you and I are using slightly different and slightly less traditional glasses. Okay, I use a Grand Cru glass.
Okay.
Okay.
And this is actually a Burgundy, isn't it?
Technically, that one is also kind of like a mini Grand Cru white wine kind of.
Because I'm like your mini me.
No. No. It's just side story. The mate for this one, okay, because these come in pairs, okay.
Which I don't have.
You do not have, but you know who does have it? Claudette Tullier.
Okay, fair.
I gave it to her.
You gave my glass to Claudette.
Well, this is before you even went in the picture. She did have me come to her vineyard during harvest. She did teach me everything I know about champagne. The least I could do was say, you know what, Claudette, every time I drink from this, and every time I hope you drink from this,
think of our friendship.
think of our friendship.
I love it.
She and I are friends. She and I are very good friends, and she has taught me everything. There's a funny thing. As we talk about our business and we talk about how to expand Champagne, one of the things that you would ask me to do is look at some of the challenges in the champagne industry.
Yep.
One of the things that is a big challenge is getting knowledge, because it is a secretive world.
It is.
Yes, very, very, very much so. Like outsiders,
amazing.
Even if you're French, outsiders are not.
No, and I think there's, to a certain extent, there's a bit of mystery with the French, right? But the champagne also has a certain mystique.
Yes,
right?
very much
and
so.
that's part of the marketing plan, is to maintain that mystique, that exclusivity.
Here's a funny thing. So it being exclusive is, yes, they want it an exclusive product. Because it is the apex of the wine world.
It is a luxury item.
It is a luxury item, but at the same time, they're stuck because anything that is that luxurious is expensive, and it's priced out of most people's reach. So they think.
So they think, exactly. Like most people think, oh, champagne. I can't drink champagne every day. Who can afford that?
Who can afford that? Well, guess what? Okay, if you open up a bottle of red wine every night or every couple of nights or whatever, you can
afford to drink champagne the same way.
The only reason why champagne is so expensive is because we in America are only getting the more expensive variants.
Yes.
Because that's where the money is. Okay, whereas, people like Claudette Tullier from Tullier Fils,
Drink it like water.
they do like water, and their products are better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Not just because they're our partners, but they are better.
They're better. It's that grower, producer. It's done the right way in the old tradition, organic,
And
sustainable.
because they're smaller,
it makes a difference.
they're cheaper.
Yeah.
So there's that. So pouring champagne, the key takeaway, show it the respect it deserves. You give it the respect it deserves. And when you do that, you will get way more out of it. So that's our little tutorial on how to serve champagne. It's quick and easy, but if you have any questions, leave us a question in the comments, and we'll always happy to get back to you. Till next time, champagne every day.
Salut.